Alright, so we'll get things underway. First off, we're going to be covering off the service ribbons and presidential unit citations, such as those that are awarded during the Guadalcanal campaign and the Korean War campaigns that we've done. So here we go. For just reading through the document here, apologies. Okay, for those, presidential unit citation for Guadalcanal is as follows. Major Michael Knox, Captain Bill Ray, Captain Luke Smith, First Lieutenant Frederick Au, Captain Jake Sauls, First Lieutenant John Tony, Second Lieutenant Noel Barton, Second Lieutenant Zachary Wood, Sergeant Gene Vanderham, Corporal William Brown, Corporal Tony Exposito, Corporal Fritz Meyer, Corporal Jacob Buffett, Corporal Thomas Young, Hospitalman Third Class Tucker Lavernius, Lance Corporal Ryan Beckrell, Lance Corporal George Coleman, Lance Corporal Cooley, Lance Corporal Jack Landry, Lance Corporal Tony Lebowski, Lance Corporal Cole Lafazo, Lance Corporal Gordon McWhirter, Lance Corporal Carl Lott, Lance Corporal Henry Mitchell, Lance Corporal Spencer O'Malley, Lance Corporal Paul Paxton, Lance Corporal Joe Peaches, Lance Corporal Lucas Tony, Lance Corporal Ichabod Tucker, Private First Class Matthew Bush, Private First Class Sean Lerner, Private First Class John Yukimi, Houseman Second Class Justin Anderson, Houseman Third Class Kenneth Junji. Then the following, the President of the United States takes great pleasure in presenting the Presidential Unit Citation to the 5th Marine Regiment for extraordinary heroism and outstanding performance of duty and action against enemy aggressive force in Pusan, Incheon, Chosin Reservoir, and Coterie of Korea from 6th August to 11th December 1950. When the full fury of the enemy counterattack struck both of the 8th Army and the 10th Corps, the 27th and 28th of November 1950, the 1st Marine Division, operating as the left flank division of the 10th Corps, launched a daring assault westwards from Udamni in an effort to cut off the road and rail communications of hostile forces attacking the 8th Army, and at the same time continue its mission of protecting a vital main supply route consisting of a tortuous mountain road running southwards of Chuhangni, approximately 35 miles distance. Orders to withdraw from Hamhung in the company with attached army and other friendly units in the face of tremendous pressure in the Chosin Reservoir area. The division began an epic battle against the bulk of enemy 3rd Route Army, and while still small intermediate garrisons of Hagari and Coterie held firmly against repeated and determined attacks by hostile forces, gallantly fought its way successfully to Hagari, Coterie, Chuhangni, and Hamhung over twisting mountainous and icy roads in sub-zero temperatures. Battling desperately night and day in the face of almost surmountable odds throughout a period of 2 weeks of intense and sustained combat, the 1st Marine Division emerged from its ordeal as fighting unit with its wounded, with its guns and equipment, with its prisoners, decisively defeating 7 enemy divisions together with elements of 3 others, and inflicting major losses which seriously impaired the military effectiveness of the hostile forces for a considerable period of time. The valiance, fighting spirit, relentless perseverance, and heroic fortitude of the officers and men of the 1st Marine Division in the battle vastly outnumbering enemy were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. I'd just like to say, as a sort of side note, it was a great honor to be able to represent that campaign and play along with that with you guys. It was something I really sort of enjoyed the specialness of it, and I hope you guys really took that educational experience to heart, as well. Sort of got to a little bit of insight, even just the smallest amount of insight to what possibly those Marines were going through at that time. It's certainly one of the things that we do with this unit, sort of that educational aspect. I hope we can all sort of walk away a little bit smarter and a little bit more enlightened about these heroic actions of these Marines. Continuing on though, we have the following people who have earned the Korean War Service ribbon. The Korean Service United Nations ribbon, Republic Korea Service ribbon, which is basically has to attend 50% of the entire campaign. The following people: Major Michael Knox, Captain Bill Ray, Captain Luke Smith, First Lieutenant Frederick Au, Captain Jake Sauls, First Lieutenant John Tony, Second Lieutenant Noel Barton, Second Lieutenant Dustin Bloden, Second Lieutenant Zachary Wood, Sergeant Gene Vanderham, Sergeant Tony Exposito, Corporal Shane Lerner. That's he tried Sean before. Disregard then. Corporal Fritz Meyer, Corporal Jacob Fett, Corporal Thomas Young, Lance Corporal Ryan Bechtel, Lance Corporal George Coleman, Lance Corporal William Foley, Lance Corporal Jack Landry, Lance Corporal Tony Lebowski, Lance Corporal Colafazo, Lance Corporal Roger Marston, Lance Corporal Carmelot, Lance Corporal Gordon McWhirter, Lance Corporal Henry Mitchell, Lance Corporal Spencer O'Malley, Lance Corporal Joe Peaches, Lance Corporal Thomas Pope, Lance Corporal Ichabod Tucker, Lance Corporal Lavonius Tucker, Lance Corporal Nathan Venturino, Private First Class London Church, Private First Class Joe Coupland, Private First Class William Newberry, Private First Class Barrett Walker, Private Gabriel Benavides, Private Cletus Montgomery, Private Robert Paulson, Hospitalman Third Class Kenneth Jungi, Hospitalman Third Class Max Schofield, Hospitalman Richard Stillwater, and Hospitalman Charlie Thomas. As well, we have the Purple Hearts, which is 50% attendance and must be wounded and saved by a doc and survive the entire mission. The following people: Captain Jake Sauls, First Lieutenant John Turney, Second Lieutenant Noel Barden, Second Lieutenant Dawson Blowden, Second Lieutenant Zachary Wood, Sergeant Gene Vanham, Sergeant Tony Exposito, Corporal Shane Lerner, Corporal Fritz Meyer, Corporal Jacob Buffett, Lance Corporal George Coleman, Lance Corporal William Foley, Lance Corporal Tony Lebowski, Lance Corporal Gordon McWhirter, Lance Corporal Henry Mitchell, Lance Corporal Spencer O'Malley, Lance Corporal Joe Peaches, Lance Corporal Thomas Pope, Lance Corporal Nathan Venturino, Private First Class Joe Coupland, Private Cletus Montgomery, and Hospitalman Third Class Max Schofield. Thank you all those people who made the effort to attend the campaign. We understand that some people, have real life limitations, but we greatly appreciate all you guys just for turning up and sort of making these missions as good as they can be. Now we have the award citations. So first off, we're going to be covering the Good Conduct Medal. To all those who shall see these present greetings, this is the certified that First Lieutenant John Tony, Second Lieutenant Noel Barden, Second Lieutenant Zachary Wood, Sergeant Tony Exposito, Corporal Thomas Young, Lance Corporal Henry Mitchell, Lance Corporal Gordon McWhirter, Lance Corporal Ichabod Tucker, and Lance Corporal Jacob Fett, United States Marine Corps have been awarded the Good Conduct Medal for exemplary service and conduct from summer of 2020 to June 3rd of 2023. Throughout this period, these Marines have displayed unwavering commitment and dedication to duty, upholding the highest standards of professionalism and integrity, demonstrating an exceptional work ethic and unwavering sense of responsibility. They have consistently exhibited the core values of the United States Marine Corps, setting a commendable example for all to follow. During their tenure, they have consistently displayed exceptional competence and skill, ensuring the successful accomplishment of all assigned tasks. They have consistently demonstrated outstanding performance and adaptability in the face of challenging and dynamic situations, contributing significantly to the overall success of the unit. By their outstanding performance, exceptional conduct, and unwavering dedication to duty, the previously stated people have brought great credit upon themselves, the United States Marine Corps, and the United States of America. Given my hand at the outside of Vietnam Red Beach here, this 18th day of June 1966, I believe, signed by whoever. Right now, I'll just say First Lieutenant Tony.
There you go.
Yep. Can I please have? Let's check. Is a Corporal Thomas Young here?
He better be.
Nope.
He LOA today.
LOA.
What a loser.
He's got it. Okay. No worries. Skip that. Alright, can we please have Major Michael Knox, Second Lieutenant Zachary Wood, and Sergeant Gene Vanham to the front? Okay. Alright, Sergeant Gene Vanham, for your efforts and dedication in training all the new recruits and those seeking ITR training, your countless hours of devotion and dedication speak volumes of the hard work and quality of trained recruits produced in the last few months. For that, we're awarding you the U.S. Navy and Marine Corps Ribbon of Achievement.
Raw, thank you, sir.
Major Michael Knox and would-be Second Lieutenant Wood, awarding United States Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal to Major Knox and Second Lieutenant Zachary Wood for the Korea campaign. Their countless hours of research and mission building created one of the most immersive, difficult, and unique campaigns of the history of 3-5. Their professionalism with the research skills of the Korea campaign was a highlight for many, and their work was one of the highest of degree. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, return to formation. Okay, can I please have to the front Second Lieutenant Dawson Blowden, Corporal Shane Lerner, Lance Corporal William Brown, Lance Corporal Tony Lebowski, Hospitalman Charlie Thomas, and Private First Class Barrett Walker.
Blowdorn is going to be late.
Understood?
Trouble on the way.
Walker, just form up on the left side.
There you go, gents. There you go. Come on.
There you
fix
go,
it.
there you go.
That's my squad lead up there.
Okay.
That's fun.
Alright. Alright, since Blowdon's isn't here, I'll be reading his another time. The president's... actually, no. Nox, you reckon I should just read it anyway? Because we'll probably wish you it anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. The President of the United States of America takes pleasure in presenting the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal with Valor Device to Second Lieutenant Dawson Blowdon for heroic action in connection with the military operations against the armed enemy of the United Nations while serving as a rifleman in George Company, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, in action against enemy aggressive forces in the Republic of Korea, 3rd of September 1950. While serving as an armor bearer in the assault of the Hill, the bar gunner went down from a fatal wound, and his team, while under intense fire from a Maxim machine gun emplacement, Blowdon instinctively picked up the bar. He then proceeded to suppress and kill the machine gun position and cover his comrades as they tended the wounded and regrouped the main supporting element. After the hill was taken, Blowdon single-handedly defended his fighting position from an overwhelming force with a well-placed grenade rendered the rest of his team and his squad leader unconscious from the blast. Under immense small arms fire, Second Lieutenant Blowdon exposed himself to enemy fire to direct the corpsman to his wounded comrades so they could render aid. His actions saved the lives of several wounded Marines and were in the highest standards and traditions of the United States Marine Corps. The President of the United States of America takes pleasure in presenting the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal with Valor Device to Corporal Shane Lerner and Lance Corporal Tony Lebowski for heroic actions in connection with military operations against the armed enemy United Nations while serving as a rifleman in George Company, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines in action against enemy aggressive forces in the Republic of Korea, 2nd December 1950. Then, Private First Class Lerner and Private First Class Lebowski, whilst being part of 1st Squad, 2nd Platoon, Item Company, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, took part in the breakout of the 5th Marines from Trozen Reservoir encirclement in Udam Ni. During the breakout, Item Company had encountered heavy enemy resistance on the eastern side of the hill, 1520, which halted their advance. Whilst being assigned to 1st Squad, the squad was forced down into the low ground after taking several Marines wounded, but managed to get below the enemy's firing arc. Assaulting up the hill, the Marines began to take withering small arms fire from multiple angles until they got within assaulting range and threw grenades into the trenches, where Private First Class Shane Lerner received his first injuries. Coming to consciousness after being treated, he quickly realized that the enemy had begun to launch a platoon-scale counterattack on their trench, which had become encircled but partially held off by close air support provided by Corsairs from VMFA 323. He saw Private First Class Lebowski defending the left side from a trench alone and joined him in his efforts. During such time, Lebowski had run out of ammo as an enemy Chinese soldier rushed the trench with a submachine gun, resulting in hand-to-hand combat. Private First Class Lebowski held steadfast in the face of the enemy assault and did not yield his ground. Private First Class Lebowski yelled for help, and Private First Class Shane Lerner quickly jumped into action in front of Lebowski, with disregard for his own personal safety, and shot the enemy soldier, but in process became wounded again himself. Word had come from a runner to allow the Marines to break through their small encirclement and to regroup with the platoon, and Lerner was carried with the other still wounded Marines back to the regroup with the platoon to be treated. Because of Private First Class Lerner and Lebowski's quick reactions to complete disregard of their own personal safety, jumping into the line of enemy fire to protect their fellow Marines, Lance Corporal Shane Lerner and Lance Corporal Tony Lebowski upheld the highest traditions and highest standards and traditions of the United States Marine Corps. Congratulations. Alright. Sorry, one thing. Is Brown here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're caught up.
But by the way, my name is William.
Okay, that's right. We can amend that. For now, I'll just say Corporal Brown. Alright. The President of the United States of America takes pleasure in presenting the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal with Valor Device to Corporal Brown, Private First Class Barrett Walker, and Hospitalman Charlie Thompson for heroic actions in connection with military operations against armed enemy of the United Nations while serving as rifleman in George Company, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marine, in action against the enemy aggressive forces in the Republic of Korea on 11th of August, 1950. Someone just fall off the edge? No, okay. Just making sure. While valiantly defending their position against North Korean assaults with little to no support during night defense of Red Hill, These 3 men were responsible for eliminating multiple enemy soldiers in the face of extreme danger, with close quarters fighting breaking out. Corporal Brown, Private Walker, and Hosselman Thompson held their ground in the face of extreme odds. Corporal Brown, Private Walker, and Hosselman Thompson upheld the highest standards and traditions of the United States Marine Corps. Congratulations. Alright, thank you, gentlemen.
Right.
Lavernius, calm your ADHD, please.
Alright, gentlemen, go ahead and dismiss. Okay. Can Hosman and 3rd Class Max Schofield come to the front, please?
ELOA today.
Okay. I'll read off his award citation anyway. The President of the United States of America takes pleasure in presenting the Bronze Star with Valor Device to Hosselman 3rd Class Max Schofield for gallantry in action in connection with military operations against the armed enemy of the United Nations while serving as a corpsman in Iden Company, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines in action against the enemy aggressive forces in the Republic of Korea, 2nd December 1950. Hosselman Max Schofield took part in the breakout of the 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines from the Chosin Reservoir encirclement at Udam Ni. During the breakout, Iden Company encountered heavy resistance on the eastern side of Hill 1520 whilst halted their advance. After seeing an enemy grenade volley wound several members of his squad, Hosselman Max Schofield rushed to the aid of the wounded Marines while directing conscious Marines to assist the aid of their comrades. Corpsman Schofield kept providing vital first aid to keep the wounded alive whilst the firefight began to heat up. The enemy had begun to launch a platoon-scale counterattack on the trench, which had become encircled but partially held off by close air support provided by Corsairs from Marine Fighter Squadron 323. Keeping his coolness under pressure, he continued to provide first aid to the Marines protecting the wounded with small arms available in the trench. With withering small arms fire from the assaulting enemy had knocked Schofield unconscious, but precedent had been set treating the casualties and continued and kept himself and the other Marines alive for the duration of the stay in the trench. Word had come from a runner to allow the Marines to break out through the small encirclement and regroup with the platoon. Schofield was carried with the other still wounded Marines back to the platoon to be treated. Because of Schofield's care for his Marines, coolness under pressure, in the face of withering enemy fire, Hosselman Max Schofield upheld the highest standards and traditions of the United States Marine Corps. Congratulations, Schofield, even though he's not here to receive it.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. Can I please have Captain Bill Ray, Captain Luke Smith, and First Lieutenant Frederick Al to the front?
Hey guys, remember to eat and drink.
Yeah, Chambers just passed out, so.
Yeah,
Oops.
he's diabetic.
That
Quick
motherfucker's
question,
AFK.
anybody know how to turn these fucking things off that like are on people, the little pentagons?
Alright, let's all take a drink.
The Pentagon shouldn't be
I'm
doing it.
taking a drink. Fucker, leave me alone.
Nobody knows.
I don't believe
what
Ray
it
is here.
But
Now Ray's
be
disabled DUI.
We'll fix it
and
later
I'll-
anyway.
What is it?
Alright, Ray's on
disabled
LOA, no
DUI
worries.
radar, and I'll do it.
Alright, quiet down, guys.
Control starting.
Okay. The President of the United States of America takes pleasure in presenting the Distinguished Flying Cross to Captain Bill Ray, Captain Luke Smith, and First Lieutenant Frederick Al for gallantry in action in connection with military operation against the armed enemy of the United Nations while serving as fighter pilots in Marine Fighter Squadron 323, in action against enemy aggressive forces in the Republic of Korea, 2nd December 1950. During the evening on the 2nd December 1950, Captain Ray and then First Lieutenant Smith and Second Lieutenant Al had been on standby flying close air support and quickly saw that an enemy counterattack of two element platoons were making an assault. I think it's supposed to be enemy. Two enemy platoons were making an assault on a pinned down element of Ida Company 3rd Battalion 5th Marines. Despite enemy forces being dangerously close to the friendly Marines, to the point that they were in decisive melee combat, Captain Bill Ray, First Lieutenant Luke Smith, and Second Lieutenant Frederick Al began dropping ordnance in the form of rockets, high explosive bombs, and devastating strafing runs on the assaulting enemy platoons, which had completely and utterly destroyed them. This action was paramount for the survival of the friendly Marines, and were then able to carry their wounded and themselves back into friendly positions to receive life-saving medical care. By their great personal valor and unwavering courage, Captain Ray, Captain Smith, and Lieutenant Al saved the lives of many Marines, thereby reflecting a great credit upon themselves and upholding the highest traditions of the Marine Corps of the United States Naval Service. Congratulations.
Congrats, gents.
Woo! That shit saved our fucking lives, dude.
Yeah, well done. Alright, dismiss. Alright, can I please have to the front Lance Corporal Henry Mitchell?
I gotta get a picture as well. Some guy.
Sure. The President of the United States of America takes pleasure in presenting the Silver Star to Lance Corporal Henry Mitchell, United States Marine Corps, for gallantry in action in connection with military operations against an armed enemy of the United Nations while serving as a machine gunner in George Company, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, 1st Marine Division, reinforced, in action against enemy aggressive forces in the Republic of Korea, 7th of August, 1950. On the 7th of August, George Company was assigned to the defense of Hill 342, along with an Army Rifle Company from the 27th Infantry from a determined enemy assault. In the defense, Lance Corporal Mitchell was responsible for holding the north side of the perimeter with his machine gun. While under constant mortar fire and small arms fire, Lance Corporal Mitchell held his ground whilst delivering devastating fire into enemy ranks. When the left flank of the perimeter was in danger of being overrun, Lance Corporal Mitchell, at great personal risk, exposed himself to mortar fire and dashed across the fire-swept ground to support the failing flank. His determination to duty and marksmanship swept the field and the advancing enemy, thus saving the company from being overrun. In the action, Lance Corporal Mitchell killed at least 40 communist soldiers. By his great personal valor and unwavering courage, Lance Corporal Mitchell saved the lives of many Marines, thereby reflecting great credit upon himself in upholding the high traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service. Congratulations.
Kill.
Yeah.
Alright, general formation.
Go!
Rah. Rock eater.
Cool. Alright. Can I please have Sergeant Gene Vandenham to the front? The President of the United States of America takes great pleasure in presenting the Navy Cross to Sergeant Gene Vandenham, United States Marine Corps, for extraordinary heroism in connection with military operations against the armed enemy of the United States nations while serving as a squad leader in Company I, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, 1st Marine Division, reinforced, in action against enemy aggressive forces in the Republic of Korea, 2nd December 1950. During the breakout from Chosin Reservoir, Item Company encountered heavy machine gun fire from the eastern side of Hill 1520, which halted their advance. Sergeant Vandenham's squad was forced down into the low ground after taking several wounded. Sergeant Vandenham, seeing an opportunity to relieve the rest of the pinned-down platoon seized the initiative and ordered his squad to assault up the hill into withering small arms fire and machine gun fire. With fierce determination and boundless courage, Sergeant Vandenham maneuvered his squad into grenade range and began assaulting into the enemy positions until falling wounded by enemy grenade fragments. Regaining his footing, Sergeant Vandenham quickly assessed the status of his wounded and fallen Marines and quickly organized an administrative aid to the wounded, while also instructing those who could fight to form a perimeter. The enemy then launched a platoon-sized counterattack on the trench, which had become encircled, but it partially held off by the close air support provided by Corsairs of VMFA 323. Keeping his coolness under pressure, he continued to lead and protect the lives of his Marines under his command to the best of his ability while refusing treatment until the wounded Marines could be evacuated due to the hole being created in the encirclement due to close air support. By his great personal valor and dauntless perseverance in the face of almost certain death, Sergeant Vandenham saved the lives of many Marines, thereby reflecting great credit upon himself and upholding the highest traditions of the Marine Corps and United States Naval Service. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Raw.
God damn.
Kill!
Oh, I didn't get the salute. That sucked. Oh well.
Oh.
I can come back for the salute if we're doing
Run that back.
Protect,
Run that back.
protect.
Run that back.
Run that back. Okay.
Run that back.
Take two.
For PRs, for PR.
He's just getting a
Oh
second
god.
tendency.
Oh yes.
There you go,
Alright.
Jones.
There you go. Much better.
Saving that one for later.
Oh god. Cool. We do have two mention in dispatches. Ones that we'll probably talk about later because we're going to be running behind time now. One of those was specifically the write-up that I did for Lebowski, which reads like a fucking insane movie story rather than an actual account of events, but all of it was true, confirmed by multiple sort of sources from that action. So I just want to give a big shout out to Lebowski, who was my previous recommendation for a Silver Star for that. And also, we do have another mention in dispatches written for Sergeant Gene Vandenham for another action that occurred on a different day.